Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This time we're going to do a character review and analysis of one of the OGs, a fan favorite from the original trilogy, Lando Calrissian. Lando is probably the smoothest, most charismatic character in the entire Star Wars universe. From the moment he's introduced, we really get the idea that this is just a very charming individual. And like I said, very high charisma. He is very accomplished in his own right through his path as a smuggler, leading Cloud City, and becoming a very important member of the Rebel Alliance. And he has a story arc in the original trilogy where when we first meet him, he's an old friend of Han's. We will learn more about their history later, but we find out that he has ultimately sold out his friends for the protection of his city. And that's honestly an acceptable choice given his position as a leader. And we find out later he regrets it, revolts against the Empire when Vader keeps altering the deal, and we know the rest. He joins in the fight against the Empire and plays a pivotal role in Return of the Jedi, leading the charge to destroy the second Death Star. And man, Billy D. Williams, such a phenomenal actor. He did such a good job with Lando Calrissian. The chemistry that he has with the other heroes like Han and Leia cannot be understated. Just a phenomenal performance. And I think it really endeared him to a lot of fans of The Empire Strikes Back. Like, you go from hating Lando when you see him and he betrays the team, but then at the end of the film, when you see him in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, leaving Cloud City behind to go and find Han and try to make things right. You can't help but feel good about it. In Star Wars, which is ultimately a film series about redemption, Lando has his own little redemption arc that can be loved and appreciated. Now, Donald Glover would take on the role of Lando in the solo film. Again, I think he did a good job. He is by no means Billy D. Williams, but for portraying a younger Lando, I thought it was a good casting choice. Lando was enjoyable in that film as well. And I did love seeing Billy D come back one last time in The Rise of Skywalker. Again, I am not a fan of the sequel trilogy, but at least they got that right in bringing back Billy D to play Lando. It was fun. It was enjoyable seeing him back on screen with that same charm and charisma, even at an old age. So I will give him that. Might be all I give him, but I will give him that. So yeah, Lando, just a phenomenal character. I think he is layered to the extent that he does want to look out for himself and he wants to be a scoundrel, but he has a good heart. And sometimes that heart keeps him from really being as cutthroat and ruthless as that business requires. I think that's why he finds himself in all these different levels of life. He gambles away the Millennium Falcon, has fond memories of it upon returning to it, but you never see him harbor any true resentment towards Han for losing the Falcon, you know? Even though, by all standards, most people in that situation in the Star Wars universe would probably go and kill Han and take their ship back, but he doesn't. He shows a lot of love and respect for those around him. He's just a good, wholesome character and a really, really important part of that original team. He has that flirtatious balance with Leia that's just enough to make Han jealous. We found out later in a lot of the extended materials that him and Luke have a good relationship where they go off on a lot of missions and adventures throughout the galaxy, which really showcases Lando's more adventurous side. And then obviously you have the good old fashioned rivalry with Han and Chewie. Really good balanced amongst the original trilogy heroes. Gonna give Lando Calrissian a 9 out of 10. One of my favorite Star Wars characters. Again, I think when it comes to casting, Billy D really brought this man to life. So mucho props to Billy D. Williams. just iconic. When you're talking about the original trilogy, so many of those characters mean a lot to me and are very iconic. Empire Strikes Back, Cloud City, those scenes are forever ingrained in my mind, and Lando's role in that film is a huge part of that. So, yeah, going to be a 9 out of 10. I appreciate you watching this video. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our other character reviews and discussions. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on Lando. And as always, may the Force be with you. Now let's blow up that like button and go home.